We live in effect with my man DC.
What's happening, brother? What's happening? Ready to get this going.
I know you ready. You came in hot. That's the first thing you was talking about. You see me.
You know what subject I'm going to talk about, brother. And I was right on it. I just want to hear you say, was I right?
About what?
About Shakur.
What was you saying?
Remember I told you that I said I was a little worried about Shakur, that I don't think he likes power because he fought that African dude named Nakatili, and he seemed to fight very scared. And I said if he fought Devin, if Devin can develop that power at 140, I said I think with Devin's athleticism, his jab, his height, his reach, and then power, he would have Shakur fighting the same way like he fought Nakatili. Remember I told you that.
If that's what you said, then okay, you was right. I don't think that's what you said. I don't remember that because you're very articulate right now.
We can go back to one of the other podcasts.
Okay,
man.
I'll run it back. I'll plug that in just in case. If that's a fact that you said that, then okay, I got you. But I don't remember all that detail. But I do remember you saying that you feel like Devin Haney can beat Shakur Stevenson.
Most definitely, and just what I laid out is why I think that Devin will beat him. And a lot of people are going to be disappointed thinking that Devin isn't as good as I think he is. Devin is a very athletic, tall fighter. And all we've been waiting for Devin is to develop his power. If he goes in there at 140 and fight Regis and that power's there, oh, man, we're talking. Now we look at him like everybody was looking at Shakur. You need to look at Devin that way.
Oh, so you're saying we're looking for something that hasn't existed just yet?
Not yet. That's why I think he's been draining himself at 135, and I think he stayed there too long. The kid is like 22, 23. With his height, he should have been moved up. This kid is like right at 5'9". He can go all the way up to around 147, 154, and he's been straining to go to 135. He's at 140 now. If he looks good and that power's there, oh, can you imagine him with the fights at 140? We're talking about Antonio Russell. We're talking about Rolly. We're talking about Supers, Matisse. Man, there's so many guys there that he could fight. T.O., epic fights, man.
Yeah, well, from my experience, I don't think that because you arrive to a new weight class, you're going to automatically have power. I feel like if you have power, you're going to have power. It's going to be evident whether you're cutting weight or not. Is he a power puncher? I can't confidently say he is. So I don't think that's going to be the case, him moving up. I don't think we can compare the power of this last guy compared to Haney. With that being said, Shakur Stevenson definitely dropped the ball.
He stunk up the place, brother.
It should be Shakur, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Stevenson.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people been saying that the way that he was running. And I hate to use that term because I love boxing. I love the fundamentals, man, of giving you angles and slipping. But the way that he fought so scared that it was so many counter punches that he could have threw on Santos and Edwin Santos that he was too scared to throw them. And I was looking like, wow, man, this dude is really scared of power, bruh. The way that he bounced almost halfway across the ring whenever Santos got close. That fight, honestly, for lackluster it was, neither one of them deserved the win. Neither one of them deserved the loss. They should have called it a draw, and WBC should have made them fight again for that belt because that was horrible.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying there. It's crazy. We're sitting there, and one dude like, hey, man, I'm here for support. You know, I paid my money, but you ain't going to get my time. And he left. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's right. You went.
Yeah,
you
it was
went,
crazy.
man. So people was in the arena saying that.
Yeah,
they said they were booing like crazy, man.
Yeah, they was booing. It's crazy because I opened my mouth too fast out of the first round. They booed. I'm like, man, y'all gotta enjoy boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, get them a chance to really feel each other out. 5 rounds later, boo! I was like, damn, I spoke to. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like Steven Shakur's still my boy. I still believe that he'll beat Haney. Style makes fights, and sometimes some people are just so awkward and strong, you don't want to take a chance. And my feelings for the situation is, let it be known, you know, they said that he was injured. So if you injured, you decide to take the fight. Out of your opinion, because I have my opinion, I'll let you know what I feel like. Well, my opinion is after you give me yours. Your opinion, if you're going to go into a fight knowing that you're injured, do you fight the way he did, very cautious, or do you put your all on the line and still in the end, it's going to come out that you were injured? What do you feel? Or just don't take the fight at all?
Actually, I would have postponed the fight. That's the first thing. If I can't give my fans and the public my 100% or at least 90%, because they say everyone's injured when they go in. If I can't give them that, I'm not going to give them that type of performance. Going in there, fighting uncharacteristic, trying to prove a point, no, you don't need to do that if you're injured. But the way he fought, I don't really believe he was injured, but if he was, he should have postponed the fight to maybe the beginning of the year and put on a better performance. But the problem now is, I'm hearing that was his last fight under contract with Top Rank. So now, if I couldn't dress, and if you're listening to this podcast, which you probably is because it's a hot podcast, Shakir, I honestly think you should sign with Mayweather. I think that the PBC, whether they get a deal, they're looking at Prime or whatever, they have fighters that tailor-made for Shakir, like the Pitbull Cruz. I still think Shakir could beat a Frank Martin because Frank doesn't throw his hands enough, and he's real cautious also. Those two fights could put Shakir back up there. And then the best thing is his defense is on point. If he signs with Mayweather, you get him in the Mayweather gym, let Mayweather and then work on his offense, pretty boy style. Then you eventually move him to 140. I could see him fighting the Rollies for a belt, easy win for him. I could see him fighting maybe Tank at 135. That's the route he should go because I'm thinking the way he stunk up the place, brother, Bob Arum might not want to re-sign him. I don't think the zone is a good fit for him. I think Floyd showing up, I think Floyd knows, hey, man, the kid's defense is phenomenal. We just got to work on his offense of him being more sure and confidence of himself.
Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate. What, essentially, if you can just sum it up, the benefit of him signing to PBC?
The benefit right now, honestly, is I think with him signing with Mayweather, which is PBC, but Mayweather specifically, is he will get more notoriety because let's keep it a buck, man. Tank Davis, the amount of fame and the notoriety he has, and if you're listening, Tank, I don't care, I'm saying what I'm saying. Tank does not deserve it. He's been fighting subpar opponents. They've been feeding this man the same type of opponents to make him look good. But because he's connected with Floyd, us Floyd fans gave him that pass, and we would go watch his fights. That also would transfer over to Shakir, who actually does have boxing skills. If you watch Tank's boxing skills, honestly, is mediocre. He just has that dynamite power. But he's not fighting anyone that we walking into saying this is a 50-50 fight. He's fighting guys we feel that this is a 70-30 or 80-20 in favor of Tank. Shakir going over there and he gets under the tutelage of Floyd, oh my goodness, with his defense, then I think he would beat Haney because Floyd's style, the in and out, dart, jab, stab to the gut, come up with the hook, that's perfect for Shakir. And Haney's athleticism, it'll be a good fight, but I think Floyd will teach Shakir how to fight in the pocket, which Haney does not like to do. Haney don't like the pocket. And then he will be able to fight him mid-range also. So that's my opinion.
So the percentage-wise you mentioned as far as the opponents, what percentage would you say in favor versus not in favor would Shakir Stevenson versus Santos fight would have been?
Going in, well, if he was under Floyd?
No, the
right
fight,
now?
yeah.
I actually had that fight a 50-50 fight.
So is it fair to say he young, he's still learning the ropes? If it was a 50-50 fight so early on and people like Tank don't get 50-50 fights.
I give you that. But the reason I'm saying what I'm saying that I think he's scared of power is the Nakatili fight.
Yeah.
The Nakatili fight, when he fought that African dude with power,
stinker.
he fought the same way. Like he was scared to engage, just strictly defense to where they were booing. And then the media was coming out calling him a born fighter. And of course, me and a lot of other guys would defend him on social media, talking about, man, he fought smart, he stayed away from the power. But this Santos fight showed me that he is scared of power. Maybe he doesn't trust his chin. You see what I'm saying? That's why he has to, his grandfather brought him as far as he can. Now it's time to help bring someone else in there. And him going with Floyd, I think PBC will give him them fighters that will make him look phenomenal. Think about Pitbull Cruz. He would beat the brakes off of Pitbull.
Pitbull sucks.
That's why I'm saying. Pitbull, first of all, his style is what they call the Mexican Mike Tyson. But Shakur could stay in the pocket when he needs to. He can box mid-range. Then you give him a Frank Martin. Frank Martin, sometimes he keeps his hands in the pocket. Shakur can get in and out, hit him, bang, 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 bang. It won't be a stinker like that. And those two fights will elevate Shakur back up, especially if he puts on a Floyd Arturo Gotti type performance.
Yeah, I feel like, well, first thing I'm going to say is, I feel like it's disrespectful to say Pitbull got the Mexican style, because his style sucks. It's just come forward, swing crazy. I think the Mexican style purely is, of course, getting your face, getting your grill, but with finesse, with style, with grace. Like, it's a whole different type of monster. But I feel
I didn't call him Mexican style. I said he's the Mexican version of Mike Tyson. He fights with the bob and weave, come in, peekaboo. He doesn't really do the peekaboo style.
Maybe I'm just being biased.
And he's looking to knock you out.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being biased. I feel like
Mexican style is totally different than what Pitbull. Pitbull, okay. I mean, Mexican style, you come forward behind a jab, high guard, you're looking to attack the body, bring it to the head. Right. That's not what Pitbull do. Pitbull comes in there wild, kind of aggressive, and attack you like Mike Tyson used to.
Okay, I got that. The other hand is, I like all the points you're saying, like, dang, it's crazy, because I do agree, you know, when as far as the power and the awkwardness, but I remember when he fought Oscar Valdez, like, I don't know, he wasn't scared.
Because he didn't think Oscar Valdez could hurt him. If you look at the Oscar Valdez fight, he walked Oscar down. He didn't respect Oscar's power. He respected Nakatili's power. He respected Edward Santos' power. He didn't respect the brother that he fought right before Santos, the ex-Marine brother who had the belt that he took it from. That's under Bomac in him.
That, you know what?
If he don't respect your power, he'll walk you down.
Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that. It's just, yeah, that, and then it just looked weird for him to only throw a straight hand after, like, what, the 5th round or so?
I don't believe he was injured, man. I believe he just fought cautious.
Yeah.
Because Edwin is a power punch in both hands, and he does have speed. And see, Shakur knew that going into a lot of fights, he had the speed advantage to where he can hit you and get out the way. Whereas here's Edward that he knows if he throws a punch and Edward counters, Edward has enough power to actually put him on the canvas.
Yeah.
Whereas Oscar don't.
I agree.
Oscar doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. And then also, as the rounds went, there was a couple of spots where Shakur was, like, kind of aggressive, and then he was countering a little bit. I'm like, yo, that's what you got to do.
Exactly.
But it only lasted.
He was nervous. Yeah. And the counter was crazy. If you watch that fight, there were so many counters.
100%.
Santos would throw and move 100%. Like he would swing wild hooks and miss, and Shakur would just step into the side.
And Santos didn't even take any chances either, bro. You know what I mean?
Santos, here's the thing, but what made Santos look good, and I even said the same thing, Santos, I think he thought he bit into the hype. I think he thought Shakur was when he fought Oscar. I thought that's what he was getting. So if you look at Santos, the way that he fought other guys, he was a lot more aggressive. But this fight, he was trying to double up on the jab, walk behind the jab, rush in with it a little bit. And I think once he realized Shakur was a little intimidated by it, he kind of pressed it, but he didn't press it enough. If he had pressed it like really went after Shakur, he might have would have got the decision, regardless of what Shakur did.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where this young generation is so afraid to lose their they don't want to go out on their shield, and back in the day.
The Floyd Mayweather effect.
Golden, but see, that's, I don't know. Yeah,
but see, the problem though, brother, they following Floyd Money Mayweather effect. They're not following Floyd Pretty Boy. See, we remember Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy was nasty, man. From 130 to 140, he fought anybody that wanted.
It's all about money and drama and A side, B side.
Yes.
Roy Jones used to be like, "Oh, you think you better than me? All right, for sure. Come see me. We're gonna see who the king of the hill." I feel like it got to get back to that.
Hey, can we switch the subject on to one thing since we didn't gave these Shakur too much
absolutely.
attention?
Just wait. Let me sum it up.
Okay.
Don't stink out the joint.
Don't stink it out, man.
You messing with your bag, G.
Oh my God,
you messing with your money, bag, G.
Did you hear what Steven Jackson say?
Nuh-uh.
Steven Jackson, bro, you got to pull what he said about the fight. He says, Shakur, we here to support you, man. We're here for you, but nah, bro, we can't watch this, man. We're not gonna show up for this. But who I want to talk about, and you're gonna trip off of this, who I'm actually gonna side with you, is them stripping
Bro.
Terence Crawford.
Come on, G.
That was so wrong.
You see how fast that was?
That was so wrong.
Look. And what's crazy is I don't hear nothing from Boots because I believe at the point in time, the WBO, he was second.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil
and he avoided
Ortiz was first.
He went the IBF route. Yep.
And then, see, oh, man.
I don't think he was ready then.
True.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, I agree. And I feel like to a certain extent, he's not ready now.
I'm about to say something that you pure boxing fans that are listening are going to be upset about. I don't think he should fight Boots. I think that Terence, at 36 years old, he's never got the bag like he should have had until he fought Spence. I think his next fight should be Tim Tszyu in Australia, okay? Big money fight. He can get about maybe 15 to 20 plus million. Then, after he takes that WBO, fight Jamel Charlo for the undisputed. 3-division undisputed, goes down in history as probably top 5 greatest of all time. Now, after he's done that, then I think he should go for the ultimate bag.
The Canelo
bag. Fight.
I agree.
And
we are in full
quits.
agreement, brother.
Call it
full
quits.
agreement. The energy that most people are having with him, quote unquote, not fighting Boots. Number one, he's in a contract.
No, he's in a contract
well, not
for
a contract,
Spence.
But he's
in Spence. For Spence.
That's what I mean.
Spence don't listen. If I was him, really the fight is useless.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it a buck.
He might as well talk to Spence.
At 154, Spence is my guy. You know, we've argued about this for years.
It's the same thing. He don't see the same thing. It's the same
thing. It might go a tad bit better for Spence, but I think the result's going to be the same.
Styles makes fights.
And Spence style is completely wrong for Terence. Spence can never beat him.
Agreed.
The way it is. But I just think that he should tell Spence, I'm going to fight at 147. Spence ain't going to want to do it.
I think that's what he's doing.
Spence not going to want to do it. That voids the contract. Then he fights Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
Okay? Go that route. PBC might be a little mad, but PBC got to realize if Tim Tszyu pushes, since he's the WBO, he's the mandatory. Push that fight. There's nothing to gain. Yeah, you'll get some money behind the Spence fight. You're going to win.
It's a waste of time.
You might get another $15 million, but you're fighting an extra fight that you don't have to fight. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm standing with Crawford, man. The IBF, I think, did him wrong when you look at Jamal, held his belt for over 2 years.
How long? That's crazy.
You look at Spence hasn't defended an IBF mandatory since he fought the kid in Dallas. So I'm looking at it like, okay, man.
Okay, and mathematics don't lie. So what's the common denominator between the IBF and the PBC?
I just think, okay, we know it's politics. And I think that PBC probably thought, well, if they can get Boots in there, they'll move Spence out the way. And they figure Boots will probably be the guy that beats Crawford. Like I said, it's a dirty game. And you know I've been always a PBC guy, and I've always been a Spence guy. I don't think Crawford should take it. He knows what they're doing. He should tell them, hey, the contract for Spence is going to be at 147. Spence says no, contract void.
My man DC is seeing a light, man. I appreciate you, brother. I never thought this day would come that you would be saying that, and I
right
like
is
it.
right and wrong
like
is wrong, brother. Like I said, for years I criticized Crawford's resume, and I wanted him to fight an elite opponent.
Rightfully so.
He did that against Spence, and he actually made Spence look worse than Mean Green and anybody else was able to fight Crawford. He showed me that Crawford is really what you guys in this gym has been bragging about. I just hated the fact that he was never able to fight the names. Thurmans, Broners, the Danny Garcias. That fight, those fights would have just really put him on another level.
You're not lying.
But he's finally got it. He's got the recognition that he's always been saying he was and he deserved. Now it's time at this age for his family to make the money and go off and ride off in the sunset. If you were a boxer, and I've always said this, if my son was a boxer, I would want my son to imitate the lifestyle outside the ring, like Terence Crawford, not Earl Spence. Spence is my man. Spence got to get it together.
Agreed. All right, man. We'll wrap this up. Conclusion of the sparring session. Appreciate you, DC.
No problem,
Any
brother.
final words for everybody out there listening?
I said what I said about Terrence, and as far as Shakur, your contract is up. Go ahead and sign with Money May. Let him get you that fame that Tank Davis is getting unwarranted. And because you do have skills, and get under Floyd, let Floyd show you how to pick them shots in the pocket, and just come back and do what you're supposed to do, man.
All right, I'll wrap it up with it saying, any young boxers out there, don't worry about the O. It's about putting the butts in the seats.
Most definitely.
Give it your all, inside and outside the ring. We out.
All right.